Welcome. You are live in the den. I know you can't see me right now, but it's okay. It is okay. You're going to see me in a little bit. I hope everybody is doing well. Man, it's good to be back. You know, each and every day I get back into the saddle and start to do this. I feel better and better each time. So I appreciate you out there. The one or two of you that's already watching me, show me some love. Make sure you hit that like button as you come in here. We finna get into it. I'll give it some time to get into there, into here, into the space, into my live stream. Give you guys some time. I hope you all are doing well, like I said before. Well, it is National Star Wars Day, and I'm here. So I figured, why not talk about Star Wars? Why not talk about some of the stuff that I like as well as you like, all the nerds out there, all the in-between people, and all the casual viewers of Star Wars and science, sci-fi, and all those good things this is going to be one of those streams. If you like movies, if you like Star Wars, if you like sci-fi, this is going to be the stream for you. So I'll just let you guys come on in and we'll get into it here in a second. But in do fashion, man. I am not good at small talk, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not one of my strong suits. And I told you guys and I promised you guys that when I came back, I was actually going to give some learning or some lessons or things that would help you grow as well as myself. And how many of you all out there are petrified of public speaking? Or if you're not petrified, how many of you have an aversion to public speaking? Well, I'm going to give you a tip. I'm going to give you a pointer, and that is to make sure you know or understand the topic that you are talking about before you go into that arena of public speaking. And what would make it even easier if you find a subject that you know about is a subject that you like or a subject that you love. See, if you love sports, you're going to be more apt to learn about sports. You're going to be more apt to read about sports subject and also be more apt to listen or absorb the information. So make sure that you're talking about something you're passionate about. Make sure it's something that you really care about, and then go forward and use that information to spark a fire in you to talk. And let me tell you, if you think that public speakers are great public speakers or people that do this stuff all the time aren't nervous, you're wrong. They are all nervous in some shape or form. If it's not about the speaking and it's about making sure that the message that they want to convey to you is conveyed. So nobody in here to chat. If the people watching scared to say something in the chat, that's okay. You're still welcome, and we're going to get into it. I gotta give you guys the passion. I gotta give you guys the fire, and that's what I'm gonna do tonight. Today or tonight, I heard of the ex Proud Boys leader. What's his name? Terrio. Now, this is funny right here. How I don't understand how the leader of a nationalist group or white nationalist group seems to have Latin or Latino heritage. This is weird, but he is I believe he has actually been indicted or arrested. I don't know about the charges from that January 6th debacle that we had on Capitol Hill. So if you haven't read in the story or look into that story, go ahead and look into it, see what you can learn out of it, see if it's going to go anywhere. I suggest everybody to read. Don't continue to look at these news channels, because if you haven't noticed already, the news isn't the news anymore. The news is about shock value. The news is about putting their spin on every story, and one channel could give you one piece of information, and the next channel or the next channel could give you their end of the situation, and none of these situations are what actually happened. So you need to read. Make sure you get to reading, and make sure you get to get into finding out information yourself. Okay, and let me see if anybody else is in here. Like I said before, today is National Star Wars Day, and I didn't even know this is a thing, and most people probably didn't know this is a thing unless they just went on Google and did a Google search about Star Wars, and they just would have so happened to see this. But my sentiments to Star Wars is just about like everybody else's. Star Wars was good. When in 1978, Star Wars, the original Star Wars, as a Star Wars that we all fell in love with. If you were a Star Wars fan or if you were a science fiction fan, you would have known. Everyone knows Star Wars. You can't know Star Wars, or you can't know science fiction without knowing Star Wars if you're a millennial. Now, Gen Z, all they really know is what they've been being spoon-fed, which is the watered-down version, the watered-down, pro-woman, just pro-nuance or new age thing and mess that they have out now is what they know. Star Wars of the old days is not what Star Wars is today. So if you've watched Star Wars movies and you really didn't like them, or you was upset about what you've seen, go back and watch the original Star Wars. If you watch the original Star Wars and really begin to understand how, and like the story, you probably would have a better chance or have a different outlook on Star Wars. But I really don't like the direction that Star Wars has went down. Now, I believe it all happened when George Lucas sold his Star Wars or Lucas Arts brand to Disney, and Disney put Kathleen Kennedy as the president over Lucas Arts. As soon as she began to start to acquire the control of Lucas Arts, that's when everything went downhill. That's when you got all the pro woman and the strong female lead era of Disney and movies all together in Hollywood. That's when this all began to happen. And you kind of got a good taste of that, not even with Star Wars Episode 1, because that was pre her. Star Wars Episode 1, Star Wars Episode 2, and Clone Wars and so on, I believe was before her. When it took a turn, when Kathleen Kennedy got into her position, that's when you began to see that Lucasfilms and Star Wars go downhill. And it all began with The Force Awakens. Now, if you like me and you like Star Wars and you enjoyed Star Wars, you were excited to see Star Wars The Force Awakens come out. I mean, you had the chance to see Luke Skywalker hopefully make his return. You begin to see other characters develop, and you were just excited to see where the next phase of Star Wars went. But when you actually got the movie, what happened is what we all feared that would happen in Hollywood now. It got watered down and turned into a I Am Woman, Hear Me War thing. Now, if you haven't, I will explain to you. Now, see, Rey, played by Daisy Ripley, was the main and protagonist in the movie. And like any other Jedi or up and coming Jedi, you would think that they would have a long hero's journey to begin to hone her powers. And if she just so happened to become the greatest Jedi in all the land and the greatest Jedi ever, you would think that she still had a hero's journey to walk out and to begin and to develop. But no, it didn't happen that way. What happened was Daisy Ripley, her character Rey, got into the movie and began to be the most powerful Jedi in all of the universe with no training, with any kind of road for her to have to walk down. And it was just she was just given to the powers that she had on the fact that she was a woman. And that is what's destroying the movies now. If you look at it, if you watch the movies, that's what's destroying the movies. It's I'm going to just put a woman in the spot and put her in the spotlight and give her all the power because we want to pander to the women audience. And it's happening in the place of good storytelling. You're losing out on the storytelling. You're missing out on those things that make a good story, that make a good franchise. And what's happening is they're doing that and they're sacrificing good stories on the back of just being politically correct or being for lack of better words, pandering. And you begin to see with the reign of Kathleen Kennedy, you've seen every show or in every movie that has come out under her umbrella be bad. And that's what's happening. Every story, every Star Wars umbrella show or every spinoff has been the same thing. Let's make sure that women are at the top. Let's make sure that to show everybody women are strong and women are powerful. And look, I understand that, a lot of people think that the patriarchy is a thing anymore. But you got to realize that America has not been under a patriarchal rule for 30, 40 years now, since the 3 or 4 different phases of the feminist movement. You're not under anybody's control. You're not under anybody's thumb. You don't have to sit or stand barefoot and pregnant and cook all day. People and women can do whatever they want to do. Okay, everybody's free. You have civil rights. You have everything that you could want to do. Yeah, and I ask women, if any woman is watching my stream or watch this stream, tell me in the comment what freedom a man has that a woman does not have. And I know the first thing they'll tell you is, well, it's the pay gap, or we don't get paid the same, and it's been, in the same story has been debunked over and over again. With women and pay, it's not. And if it could be, why? Because it's highly illegal. You prove it that you, a woman and a man, have the same job and you're getting paid less just because you're a woman. You prove that, and you deserve everything that you get. But you don't. Nobody can get paid less just because you're a man or a woman. That's just not the way it works anymore. So those are the things that's happening. They put the agendas that they have, that the feelings, the emotions, and everything that they feel like the world is going through, the world culture. They put cultures into the stories and put the agendas into the stories, and at the expense of good story writing. And that's what's happened. That's what happened with these movies. Now, I am not a fan of what she did to LucasArts. I myself I did not watch the second part after Force Awakens. I didn't watch it. I seen that Harrison Ford movie should not have passed away, not in the manner in which he did. So they toss characters out the window just because they can toss characters out the window, destroy their characters, and then raise all the female characters up in the show, and it kills the momentum. It kills the fandom and the lure behind the movies, and everybody feels it. And regardless if you say the movie's good, because you're always going to have somebody that says the movie's good. Don't never take a critic's word for it. Watch a movie for yourself and see what it really is. But if the consensus say, the majority of the people say the same thing, they probably are saying it for a reason, and it's more than likely there's some validity behind the stuff that they're talking about. Now, there is some good news. And I did not see until I started doing the research on the Star Wars and Disney and the LucasArts umbrella and the Star Wars franchise, that Jon Favreau, if you guys know who Jon Favreau is? Give you a second. If you don't know who Jon Favreau is, I'll go ahead and pull him up. Make sure you can see that chat screen. Jon Favreau right there. He's the guy in the top left. He is the character who, or the person, I won't say character. He is the person who plays, Happy in the Iron Man series, in the Iron Man movies, and in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And he is also the director of Iron Man. See, and if you have watched Iron Man, and if you liked Iron Man, you've got some faith in the guy. You know that the guy can direct a movie. He can make it happen. And to me, this move couldn't have came at a better time than now. With the way LucasArts is going, it's not in a good direction. This couldn't have came at a better time. I am actually excited for what he has planned for the actual franchise. Now, it's yet to be said what he does with the franchise and which way or what direction he goes with the movies, but you can honestly breathe a sigh of relief with this move that Disney has done with putting him at the helm of LucasArts. And I am excited to see what happens next with him in the helm. A director could make or break a movie, and being that he is now under that creative control, we'll see a little balance, in the world of at least the Star Wars realm. You'll see a little balance. Because I'm always about balance. The world, and if you pay attention to the world, if you look and you go outside and actually get off these computers, make sure that you get off these computers, get off the video games, and really go outside and see what's going on, you can actually feel it. It's nothing that is just, visual. It's nothing that's just audible. I'll say it like that. It's nothing that's just audible. It is actually, you can tell that everything is off kilter. Even with the music, with the movies, with the movies are all the same message over and over and over again, that the woman is strong and the man is either weak or incompetent, and the music is just all hard. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, people didn't like the R&B music. Men began to not like R&B music and began to see that, a lot of the music was, simpish. Some of the music was not. It's a difference between the message in the music and the music itself. Now, there's nothing wrong with R&B music. There's a place for love. There's a place for romance, and there's a place for rough artistic expression, hard in music. There is a place for it, but in the world and in the realm of everything, there's a balance, and you can see what happens in the world where there is no balance. Even if you pay attention to that music industry, now all the R&B is hard. Now all the rap is hard. The rap sounds just like the R&B. The R&B sounds just like the rap, and there is no separation. There's nothing weak about a man singing R&B. There's nothing weak about a woman singing R&B. It is the artistic expression, but it's that nevertheless you can see and feel that there is no balance in that, and there needs to be a balance. And when when a balance is restored, you'll be able to see that stuff actually changes, because music is powerful, just like the medium of movies is powerful as well. And you can't continue to push these stories and these narratives of men being incompetent and the women being all powerful, and not think it takes a psychological toll on the viewers that are watching it, especially if they're young men watching these movies, and impressionable young men. They'll begin to believe that they are less than, and that the women that are in the place are the ones that are more powerful. But there needs to be a balance. There are powerful people. There are intelligent people. There are people capable and competent in both realms, and it needs to be said. And not saying that women didn't need, or there wasn't a need for women to feel and know that they can get out and do the things that they wanted to do, but you have all of these examples of successful doctors, lawyers, actresses, and they're there and they're doing these things, and they're there to be the example. But what about the young men? When are the young men going to get the same uplift? When are the young men going to be able to actually feel proud of being a man, and not just being made to feel like they are, just second fiddle or less than? That is important. And I tell you that having this media message continue to be plastered to your young men out there, or young boys, if you have young boys, and to continue to have them get bombarded by the same messages of them being less than, and girl power and black girl magic over and over again, and then the men and the boys not having that, is detrimental. But like I said, Jon Favreau, aka Happy Hogan, will be at the lead and at the helm of LucasArts, and I'm ready to actually see what he does with it. Now, I haven't really watched any Star Wars in a long time, and I don't know if I will, besides the old one, the older ones. Go back and watch them and really watch them, because it's really hard to watch. It's hard to go back and watch those things when they failed. They lacked so much. They lacked so much, and there's nothing really to grasp or hold on to. But hopefully they go back and actually do something different, and actually listen to the people. That's the whole problem, and I'm going to shift into DC too. And that's the whole problem with DC as well. Everybody want to make money, and I understand the whole goal behind this is to make money. Nobody's doing this for free. Nobody can eat off of hopes and wishes and the love. You got to have tangible funds. You have to have resources, and those resources are the money that they get from the fans. Now, with that, knowing that they get the money from the fans, you have to understand that the fans have a say so too. The fans have a thing they want to see. The market always, the market will let you know what they want. And if they're diehard fans, the market wants what it wants. And I understand from a marketing standpoint. I have taken some marketing. I know what they're doing. I know they're trying to grasp the next generation of young viewers to get them locked in on a movie or a show or a brand. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to virtue signal, get the people behind them, and gain some long-term viewership or long-term fans. But in the end, nobody wants to hear what preference you are, what sexual preference that you have as a person. Nobody wants to see what sexual preference Spider-Man has. Everybody wants to see Spider-Man go out there and kick Venom's butt. That's what they want to see. They want to see the Flash go out there and fight Black Adam. That's what they want to see. They don't want to know that the Flash wears thongs. They don't want to see that. They don't want to know that the Flash is or Darkseid is a drag queen. They don't want to see that. They want to see the good guy versus the bad guy. They want to see stuff explode. They want to see people and characters run through buildings, have their able to come and conquer at the end of the day. And sometimes, if you are in the comics, you know that the good guy doesn't always win, and that even makes for a better subject material for them not to win, to be surprised and know that the good guy doesn't win in a situation, to have multiple layers and multiple levels of writing, and then not just be wham bam thank you ma'am and continued propaganda and continued cultural culture aspects into their actual art. We watch movies, we play video games, we read comic books to get away from the cultural the cultural ups and downs. We get away from having to deal with the stress of everyday life, to have to get away from all of that stuff. We do that. We watch these videos, we play these games, we do these things because that's what we actually feel like we need to do to breathe. We don't want to be fed the same stuff. We don't want to be fed the same things that we're always fed day in and day out. Let me stop for a minute and going on my rants, and I will see if I got anybody out there, any comments out there I was working on my chat box. For some reason, my chat box wasn't working last time. And it was driving me crazy. So let's see if it worked this time. It better work. Yeah, there you go. I got it. Back again. How you doing, Bells? Appreciate you still working and rocking with the channel. This is a slow pace. It's a slow build. That's what happens when you take so much time off. If you're a content creator and you get those blocks, and I know life gets at you sometimes, don't take a lot of time off. If you take it's okay to take a week off. It's okay to take 2 weeks off. Don't take a whole month off like I did, because then you have to get back in the algorithm. Then you have to make YouTube understand that you're going to be there, and then that you're going to be loyal, and you're going to be able to keep people's attention on your live streams, and they will continue to push your content out. But if you do like me, if you go out there and then you don't go on and you don't be consistent, which I have preached consistency to be able to build, so I can't speak and preach consistency to you guys and I not do the same thing. So be consistent, come out, do what you got to do, and take if you take a week off, come back and do your thing. But lessons learned. So, but appreciate you, Bells, for supporting the channel. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate for your continual support of the channel. Now, 30 minutes. We could talk about some more. I mean, we could talk about some more movies, because I do like the movies. If you're into not Spider-Man, but if you're into aliens, there is another alien movie on the way, and it's perfect because we can talk about Predator too. Let's talk about Predator first. I mean, you can see the consistent the consistent problem that these movies are having. Let me see if this is the right one. Yeah. I can't believe it. They gave Prey. Let me see. Now they gave Rotten Tomatoes. This is Prey. If you hadn't seen Prey, Prey is the last installment of the Predator series. Prey, which came out on Hulu, which I thought when it came out on Hulu that it was gonna, when the movies come out on Hulu, you already think that the movie is gonna be, not so. I can't say bad, but not so good. But it actually was the okay. It was actually okay. I'm gonna leave it at that as being okay. At a 1 out of 10, Prey was like a, what would you say, a 6.5 out of 7, which you said you see right there, 73% out of 100. That was the audience score. Now, why did they make an audience score and why did they make a Rotten Tomato score? You need to pay attention to the audience score. 5,000 plus ratings of that audience score, because that audience score is going to be the tail of the tape. The audience score is what the people believe. Rotten Tomatoes is what they believe, and for the most part, Rotten Tomatoes is okay. There's been a couple of times where they're biased, like the Dave Chappelle comedy special, which they were biased and they gave it like a 2, which wasn't right, wasn't real. But the movie was action packed. The movie had the visuals in the movie were great. The action in the movie was great. The fight scenes were great. The problem with this movie is the problem with every other movie that came out in the last 10 years. Same I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. No, no real training, not really, if you haven't watched the video or the movie, stop watching because I got some spoilers. You don't see the woman really have to battle, come back and battle or get stronger. It's just like she's the ultimate 110-pound girl and she's going to kill a savage killing machine. And she went on to do that, and it wasn't very hard. It's just like, but you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, at the time one of the strongest men on the planet, actually have to battle in a battle, have a battle of wits, and barely won at that. So that's the same thing with that. And if you're a franchise person like I am, like the Predator, like Alien, Terminator is another good one of them. Terminator Dark Fate was the same way. If you've seen Terminator Dark Fate, same thing. Terminator itself is the same kind of repetitive, redundant kind of movie anyway. If you've seen one, not Predator, but Terminator, you've seen it all. And what happened with Terminator Dark Fate was the same thing. You get a female lead, and which is a cybernetic woman that had basically had robot implants, and she's like the baddest thing on the planet. And it's one thing to have to build and have a good story, but it's another thing to just throw the women in there just for the sake of throwing it in there and virtual see. People can spot it out a mile away, and the only people that are really going to like that are some of the extremists that already like this kind of stuff anyway. Now, there is another not Predator, but there is another Alien movie on the way too. There is another Alien. If you haven't seen or heard about the next Alien installment, I don't know any story, not story, but I don't know any confirmation. I don't need that right now. Come on. I just need a picture. I don't even need a video. Looks like it's the same thing. Look like it's the same thing. It's a picture. I don't know how real of it is, but the next installment of the Alien franchise is Alien Romulus, and you already looks like it's going to be. Which we had Ripley. We had Ripley in the original Alien, and Ripley did a good job. But Ripley was not without fault. Ripley was not without compromise, and she was not, not invincible. We seen Ripley go through a lot. We seen Ripley actually carry an alien. We seen Ripley actually go to jail. We seen Ripley die and come back, and that was the good thing about movies in the '90s. There, if it was a good female lead in there, that story and that female lead was great in the movie. Not just great because the female lead was female. And this is a problem with the movies. But it looks like there's another person in there, and we recently learned this at the 20th Century Studios and Hulu are developing a new Alien movie with Fede Alvarez, Don't Breathe, or Evil Dead on board to write and direct. And we may have now an idea of when and where the project will enter production. So that's another one. If you like Alien movies, which I like Alien movies, go, that'd be the one to go see it. And hopefully, they do something different. But it begins just to be cliche at the point, with all of this stuff, And I don't know how many studios or how many movies have to go down because they actually want to be stubborn about it. They want to be stubborn about the whole thing and think that, well, if whatever they do, they're going to do the same thing yet different. And hopefully they learn their lessons from this thing and they actually come out on top and actually start to go back to make real good movies again, because we can see what happens when people go outside the norm and just make a good movie just for the sake of it being a good movie. Like Top Gun Maverick was another great movie. Top Gun Maverick was an incredible movie. You had the action, you had the love interest, the love story, and you had great female pilots, but they weren't just great and over the top and great because they were women. They didn't just overpower the movie. The women were great, and they didn't just hone on the fact that they were women and great. People worked as a team and got the job done in the movie. And that's what people want to see. People don't want to have to deal with your societal issues. They don't want to have to deal with your societal issues. They want to come and be entertained. And that's what a lot of these people are forgetting. And I don't even think they're forgetting. They're just outright, doing what they want to do because they want to do it even at the expense of their own legacy and their own movies and their own artwork. Let's see. There are a lot of good movies coming in 2024, I believe. 2023 is kind of a dud movie wise. Kind of a dud movie wise, but if you're into, they have all kind of different movies. If you're into horror movies, they got the Evil Dead. They have the next Captain America, Sam Wilson's Captain America, which I believe the X-Men will be debuted in that movie, and I believe that is 2024. You got Deadpool 3 with Hugh Jackman coming back. You have a lot of different movies that will hopefully take us out of this whole phase that we're in phase 4 and actually continue to get back on track. Hopefully that'll happen, but time will only tell. But I'll be here. I'll be here to watch. I grew up with these cartoons. That's the wonderful thing about the millennial generation. We actually are the kids. We are the kids that actually grew up with the comics. We're the kids that actually grew up with the cartoons, and we're able to see those cartoons being able to be molded into actual movies. So it's a different feel for the millennial generation that these Gen Zs really don't have. Not the later Gen Zs, maybe some of the older Gen Zs, the 25, 26 year old age range, but the actual, millennials, we grew up. We've seen these things. We've seen video games go from 2-bit to 16-bit to 32-bit to 2K in 4K, and we've actually seen the evolution for everything. So we're riding this ride, and to see some stuff that we grew up with actually be ruined by some of this stuff, man. It's messed. Sometimes it's a punch to the gut. It's a punch to the gut. And that's why we get so mad about it. It's not the fact that we're just trying to be contrarian for just no reason, just to be contrarian. We actually grew up with this art form. We grew up with this stuff, and it's like having a classic car and V8 American Muscle classic car, just for them to put in a four cylinder engine in it, and it's no longer American Muscle. It's a travesty. That's what you're getting with this. And it's not, it's not the same. Yeah, you still got the car. Yeah, the car still turns, the cranks over, the car still works. You can still put it in drive, you can still put it in reverse, but something's just not, it's just not right. And that's what's going on with our movies. We're hating to see our movies and our characters get done the way they're getting treated and getting done. But what can you do? Actually, Thunderbolts will actually come out. Those are actually like the anti Avengers. No, you have I think it's a U.S. agent. If you've seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, you got U.S. agent. You have Natasha Romanoff's sister. You got Harrison Ford actually coming in here to be Jim Thunderbolt Ross, which will be the Red Hulk later. To be the Red Hulk later on, and hopefully we'll get some kind of mashup with that. But there is some promise left in there. It just have to follow through. You got Mahershala Ali playing Blade, which I'm still on the fence about. Not because Mahershala is not a great actor, not because I don't like Mahershala Ali. The fact is, just to me, the age. He how long is he going to be able to do it? He's not and it has that physical body type, that looks like, he's, completely athletic. How long can he actually play in these Blade movies? How long can he actually play them and be believable? So that's the thing I'm looking at when I look at Mahershala Ali playing Blade. Other than that, I think he can act the part. I just don't know about the physical aspect of the part, how it will look and how it will play out for the future. But I don't know. Let me see if I got anybody else in this right here. Oh, I'm sorry. What picture were you trying to see? What picture were you trying to see? Bells, I can't remember. What picture? I had so much up. What picture were you trying to see? And I'll make sure that I fix that. Was it the alien? Was it the alien? Here, I just pull it back up. Was it the alien picture? Was it this one? I know I had Alien Romulus. I know I had Alien Romulus up for a while. But let me know if that's what you were looking at. Were you looking at Alien Romulus? Yeah, let me know. Let me know what it was. And I'll make sure I get it back up there. I don't see you yet. Well, you let me know. There are, let me see. Yeah, I got the alien. I got the alien still up there. Yeah. Also, guys, you know my channel. This channel we're gonna talk about. I mean, I know they say you don't do the whole variety, and it's not really variety. This is a talk. This is a talk channel. We're gonna cover different topics. But yeah, the banking crisis. If you're not in the money, you're not in the financial. Get into financial. Learn about it because there's the close to close. They're getting ready to close 190 banks. 190 banks could collapse according to the study. So that's another news topic. 190 banks closing or could close, and that could be a financial collapse. But I want to know. I'm curious about what movie when my head was in the way that you wanted to see, Bell. Uh, yeah, that's another one. There's another one. You got Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, Folie à Deux. It's coming out. We got Avatar. We got the third Avatar, the third installment of Avatar. Madam Web. I don't know what that is. Let me see. You got the next Spider Verse. Got the next Spider Verse movie. We also got there's another Planet of the Apes. If you haven't heard about Planet of the Apes coming out, there's another Planet of the Apes. Let me get this on. Maybe it'd be better for you. I can share, you know, because I'm a sharing kind of guy. So I like to share. Let me see, make sure nobody else chatted on here and told me what movie. Nope, I don't see anything. Still just said my head was in the way. So we're gonna move on. There you go, so you can see everything. We got Planet of the Apes coming out. The next Planet of the Apes, Ballerina. If you haven't heard about Ballerina, that is the actual spinoff of John Wick. If you haven't watched John Wick, please go watch John Wick. You won't be disappointed. But the ballerinas, when he went to go see his family in the Russians that were in there, those ballerinas right there, those were actually hit men or hit women. I say it like that. Excuse me. We actually got the Fall Guy. I hadn't heard about that one. There's another Sonic the Hedgehog, which after the first one I had no reason to watch it. There's a Knives Out 3. I enjoy the murder mystery movies from Knives Out. So if you enjoy murder mysteries like Clue and other movies like that actually makes you think a little bit, Knives Out is one for you that you enjoy. It has a good amount of comedy in it with a pretty decent story. Let's see, you got they got Wise Guys on there, but that's Aquaman 2, of course. Quiet Place Day 1, that is the prequel to A Quiet Place. If you hadn't seen Quiet Place, that's another one I suggest you watch. Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2. There is Quiet Place Day 1 coming out with Lupita as the lead. I don't know how to feel about that because I'm so used to the people from the first two movies, but we'll see how that goes. Hadn't heard of any of these. There's another Kung Fu, March 8th, 2024. There's another Kung Fu Panda 4. We got 2024 Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2. I didn't even watch the last Mission Impossible. That's how messed up it's been since COVID. That's how messed up it's been. I hadn't been to the movies to watch any movies, and I am an avid movie goer when it comes to my action. Let me see. Can you see my? Make sure I get it. I am a avid movie goer when it comes to. What the hell happened to my thing? Yeah, when it comes to my action movies, I was an avid movie goer, but ever since the OC 19, just haven't nothing really went back to the way it was after C19. You know, I kind of like I can do without going to the movies. I'm not going to spend the money. I'll stay at home, you know, eat some pizza, rent a movie for $20, and let the whole family watch it without having to even leave the home. So, you know, but I'm the kind of guy that likes hard, DVDs and Blu-rays. So it's hard for me to spend $20, even though it's weird. Even though I used to spend, you know, $40, $50, $60, upwards of that. On going to the movies, it's hard for me to spend $20, you know, and let everybody watch it because I'm so used to spending $20 on the whole Blu-ray, if that makes sense. I'm used to spending $20 on the whole Blu-ray and being able to have it for the rest of my life. And when you spend 20, even though the whole family's watching it, I still feel like I'm losing. I'm losing out. I know I can't be the only one that feels like that. Let me see. Make sure again, because I don't want to leave anybody hanging. Nope, I think she's done for now. But there's a lot of movies, you know. Hope, like I said before, and I said 1,000 times, I am one of the people that I am a strong critique of the way movies are going now, and hopefully they turn around and do better. You know, if they want the money, if they wanna keep the viewership, they'll listen to the people. You've seen the same thing that happened to Miss Marvel, one of the lowest viewerships ever on Disney Plus. It's because people, the market wants what the market wants, you know. And I have a feeling that the Marvels, they used to be Captain Marvel 2, will end up the same way. The same fate of the Miss Marvel will be the same fate of the Marvels. You know, they want a serious movie. We want a good movie. We want a well-written movie, not some kind of teeny bopper kind of show. And it works sometime with teens and teen shows. It just doesn't work. And we're seeing that over and over again. And I don't know the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again without expecting different results is what's happening now. And hopefully these are intelligent people. These people that write and direct and do all these things over and over again and have done it successfully. Let's go back, take a rewind, and then really learn from what we did wrong and go forward and learn those lessons and hit it head on and do something different in 2024. Well, guys, I don't think it was that many people on. You know, these topics don't always go over good, but it's okay. Leaving out here in a few minutes and on a good note and a high note, let you guys know that continue to push, continue to grind, continue to make the content you want to make, continue to make it the way you want to make it, reach the people that you are meant to reach, and just continue to be you and do the things that are in your heart and made for you to do. Don't follow, be a leader. Even if you're a leader and a lone wolf and a army of one, you be the best army you can be. So guys, that'll be all for tonight. I'm gonna get out of here. I might try to go do a run. Make sure that you drink your water. Make sure that you exercise today. If you haven't, shame on you. Shame on you. But every day is a new day that you're alive, and that's a chance for you to do better. Until next time, everybody, I am